In a small region along the eastern edge of the Mediterranean Sea lies one of the most enduring and complex conflicts in modern history: the struggle between Israelis and Palestinians. This is not just a political dispute, it is a story of land, identity, religion, and generations of pain. To understand it, we must go back in time. For centuries, the land known historically as Palestine was home to diverse communities, Muslims, Christians, and Jews, living under different empires. For hundreds of years, it was ruled by the Ottoman Empire. But everything began to change after the First World War. The Ottoman Empire collapsed, and control of the region passed to Britain. Under British rule, promises were made, some to Jewish communities seeking a homeland, and others to Arab populations seeking independence. These promises would soon collide. In the early 20th century, two powerful national movements began to rise. One was Zionism, the movement supporting the creation of a Jewish homeland, especially after centuries of persecution in Europe. The other was Palestinian Arab nationalism, the desire of the Arab population to have independence in the land they had long called home. As Jewish immigration increased, especially during and after World War II, tensions grew rapidly. Communities that had once lived side by side now found themselves in conflict. Violence began to spread, and the situation became increasingly difficult to control. In 1947, a plan was proposed to divide the land into two states, one Jewish, one Arab. Jewish leaders accepted the proposal. Arab leaders rejected it. A year later, in 1948, the State of Israel was declared. Almost immediately, war broke out. Neighboring Arab countries entered the conflict, and what followed was a turning point in history. For Israelis, this marked the birth of a nation. For Palestinians, it marked a catastrophe. Hundreds of thousands of Palestinians were displaced, forced to flee or leave their homes. They became refugees, many of them never able to return. This event is still remembered deeply, passed down through generations. Nearly 20 years later, another major war changed everything again. In just 6 days, Israel captured key territories: the West Bank, East Jerusalem, and the Gaza Strip. These areas remain at the heart of the conflict today. Millions of Palestinians now lived under Israeli control, and from that moment on, the question of land, rights, and sovereignty became even more complicated. Life in these regions is not simple. For many Palestinians, daily life involves restrictions on movement, checkpoints, and economic hardship. For Israelis, security remains a constant concern, fears shaped by years of conflict, attacks, and uncertainty. Both sides live with fear. Both sides carry trauma. Over the years, resistance took many forms. There were protests, uprisings, and sometimes violence. Two major uprisings, known as intifadas, brought global attention to the situation. Images of young protesters, armed soldiers, and violent clashes spread across the world. The conflict was no longer distant. It was visible, immediate, and deeply human. In the Gaza Strip, conditions became especially difficult. It is one of the most densely populated places on Earth. Years of political division, blockade, and repeated wars have created a severe humanitarian crisis. Basic resources are limited, infrastructure has been damaged, and civilians, especially children, often pay the highest price. Despite the violence, there have been moments of hope. Efforts have been made to negotiate peace. The idea of two states, Israel and Palestine, living side by side, has long been seen as a possible solution. But turning that idea into reality has proven incredibly difficult. Key issues remain unresolved. In today's digital age, social media has brought the conflict closer to the world. Images and videos spread instantly. People across the globe watch, react, and form opinions. But beyond the headlines, there are quieter stories. Stories of humanity. Stories of people who refuse to give up on peace. Israeli and Palestinian families who have lost loved ones, yet still believe in coexistence. Individuals working together across divides, trying to build understanding. Children who dream of a life without fear, a life where they can go to school without danger, a life where nights are peaceful, not filled with sirens or explosions. These voices may not always be heard, but they exist, and they matter. Because peace is not just about politics, it is about people. It is about choices.